everyone, it's Autumn. I'm back. um, yeah, I know I've been away for a long time, and life has just been really crazy for me lately. But well. Anyway, I noticed that on YouTube there's a lot of great cross stitch tags going on. So I'm taking a break from writing papers and everything else, and I figured I'm gonna go ahead and do them. I will be doing a cross stitch update probably next week. I know I probably should be doing one now, but I have a lot to show and it's going to take me longer to do than I have time to do right now because I have to go pick up my daughter from school in just a little while. So um, basically it's going to be a very long update because I have April and May, and I did a little bit of Stitch Mania, so it's going to be a big video. So I'll save that for another time. Probably next week you'll see it. Anyway, I'm going to do some tags. Yay! Okay, which one should I do first? I haven't written down, so I'm looking down a lot. Oh, okay. I'm going to do Pam's stitching style tag. So that's the first one I'm going to do. Oh, before I start, if you hear a lot of noise in the background, they are mowing the lawn around my apartment, and so it's a little loud. I'm sorry. I did close the window, but you still might hear it. Just kind of what happens around here. It's a very noisy neighborhood. At least you cannot hear the people down at the farmer's market down the street. Now that's really loud. Okay. So, the first question in this tag is, what is your favorite fabric to use? I like to use Aida. Yeah, 18 count. Basically because I haven't really worked with anything else, and Aida is pretty much what's available at my local Michaels and Joann's, and so that's what I'm able to get. So that's what I stitch on. But I did get, I'm really excited about this, I did get some even weave lately. A couple of weeks ago from Goodwill. It was never opened package, and it was for $1, and I got like 3 packages, so I'm like, yay, I get to try something new, so I'm excited about that. I'm gonna be watching Carolyn's video to help me out with that, so yeah. Okay, next question, do you use a hoop or frame? I use both. I use the Q-Snap frames. Those are my favorite. I only have 3 available to me right now, so I do still use hoops. Do you use a stand, or do you hold your cross stitch? I hold it. I don't have a stand at this time, but they have that little pipe lap stand, and I've been wanting to make one, or maybe have my husband help me make one, because that would be pretty handy, and maybe that would help me stitch a little faster too, because I stitch one-handed and I want to get into the habit of stitching with both hands. So yeah. What time do you like to stitch? I like to stitch at nighttime because that's basically the calm down time of the day for me, because I'm really just going all for the day, and I don't have a chance to stitch until it's around nighttime. I usually stitch around after I get my daughter to bed and I do a little bit of homework. I stitch around 10 to 11 o'clock at night, and that helps me calm down, and I'm ready to go to bed. Do you like to use a printed copy or a digital copy of your pattern? I'm probably not saying these questions quite right because I just kind of My notebook is very tiny, so I didn't have to, my handwriting is just, yeah, so I kind of abbreviated the questions. So anyway, yeah, I like to use paper because it just works better for me, and I prefer that. Are you a floss licker? Yes, I am. Don't judge. um, do you harbor or do you buy as needed? I really don't know how to answer that. Um, since I'm a thrift store and I kind of thrift around and I buy stuff at thrift store, I'm a little bit of a hoarder. But I only buy kind of what I need too when I need it. So I'm a little bit of both. Because when it's at the thrift store and you see it for that good price, you need to buy it, right? Because it's a good price. So yeah. But I don't really buy, how should I say this? I don't really buy um, expensive things when I really need. I save up for it when I need to buy it. Yeah, probably made that really confusing answer. Sorry. What is your favorite floss to use? I like DMC and I also like JP Coats. Are you a cereal starter or one whip at a time? Well, until recently, after Mania, I was pretty much, I only like to have about 3 whips going on at a time. That was like as much as I would do. But now I have too many going on. Okay, do you have more FFOs or UFOs? I would say it's about even, yeah. Do you watch TV while stitching? Yes, I do. Um, Usually a lot of reruns of episodes of things I've watched before. Um, yeah. I also like to listen to music, and surprise, surprise, actually been getting into listening to audiobooks lately. Basically because I just haven't had time to sit down and read for myself, because I'm doing a work or I'm cross stitching, and I was like, well, I think I'm going to give the audiobooks another shot. And so I went to my local library and I got a couple of my favorite authors, and I've been listening to them. And it's not my favorites because I still like to read myself, but um, it's okay. Yeah, I've been doing that a lot lately, listening to books on tape. So, do you stitch with someone or do you stitch alone? Um, I stitch alone. Yeah. Or I kind of like watching all the YouTube videos, so I don't know. It reminds me of stitching with someone when I watch you guys' videos, and so I feel like I'm stitching with someone. Um, do you change anything on the chart, or do you leave it as it is? Um, yeah, I do sometimes. I think the most common thing I do with a chart is sometimes I don't have a particular color that it calls for, so I just match what I have as closely as I can, because I don't have access to a lot of variety of floss where I am. Um, like I said, my local craft store, Michael's and Joann's, is about an hour away from me, so it's hard to go, and I don't really like to order online all that often. So I just stitch with whatever I can find and what I have on hand. Um, I can't get a hold of JP Coats though. That's at my local store. grocery store, I guess. And so I stitch with that a lot. And after that big haul, I have all those different color floss I have. So I just use what I can. Where was I? Oh, do you like to bobinate or not? Not really, no. But I do. It's just not my favorite thing to do. And actually, I'm kind of trying to figure out a new floss organizing system because I don't really like to bobinate. I don't really like the floss cards. And I'm not sure if I would like putting them in little baggies either. So I don't know what is a good floss organizing system for myself. But yeah, I'm still figuring that out. Do you like to start in the middle or at the corner of a project? I most often start in the middle, but there have been times when I have started in the corner. It just depends on how complicated the chart is. Do you have a whip rotation? Nope, I don't. I just stitch whatever I feel like stitching at the time. Unless I am making it for someone, then I will just put all my time and energy in that one piece until it's done. Do you have a timekeeper? Nope. But I do kind of, I've noticed lately, like the last couple of years, I've been trying to take pictures of my projects, like the beginning, maybe the middle, and then the end of the project. And then that's kind of how I keep track of it. I know I should probably set up like an Instagram account or something. I do have Facebook, so I should be posting those things, but I'm lazy when it comes to those kind of sites. I'm sorry. I am. Do you use the parking technique? Nope, I have not, because I never had that really a large project I've ever done, and so I didn't think it was necessary. And plus, I don't have a stand. So I don't know. I guess you can use the parking technique without a stand, but it looks a little more difficult. So no, I have not. Do you keep your orts? No, I don't. I throw them away. I have a little bowl or something when I'm stitching, and I throw it in, and then at the end of the night, I just throw it away. Actually, until I came on to YouTube and watched YouTube videos, I never realized people actually kept them, and I'm like, really? That's interesting. Do you drink or snack while stitching? I used to, until I once spilled some food on a project or a drink, and yeah, no. Now I just stick with having water next to me, and if I'm thirsty or hungry, I stop and put it away and go eat and drink something, and then come back to it. So anyway, thank you, Pam. Those were great questions. Okay. Alright, this is from Beyond the Keyhole, and this is her question, or her little tag. How do you get in the mood to cross stitch? Well, pretty much, how do I answer? What do I do? Well, honestly, the first thing I do is I make sure it's kind of quiet in my house and I don't have any distractions. And that means probably my daughter's in bed and my husband's fed and the lunch is ready, the homework is put aside, and I don't have anything to do. And then I sit in my comfy chair. I either put on an audiobook, or I put on music, or I put on lately. It's been reruns of Grimm, and I watch or listen um, to that, and then I make sure my floss is all ready for me, and I just take it easy. Sometimes I get my cold glass of water with me, and I light a nice candle, and I just stitch away. That's what I do. Oh, and I also, when I don't want to listen to music or an audiobook or Grimm, I turn on FlossTube, and that's usually when the nights when I just kind of don't feel like, I'm not feeling much motivation to do anything. And then I listen to everyone talk about their stitching and their updates and what's going on with their projects, and that gets me in the mood to stitch. So, yeah. Okay. Okay, this is Donna's Curiosity tag. Number 1, how long have you been stitching? Well, I started to learn when I was around 20 years old, about 20 years ago. But I stopped here and there through the years, and so for the last 2 years I've been stitching nonstop pretty much. Do you like to frame or make cushions or wall hangings with your projects? Well, I like to make cushions, or I like to make wall hangings. I don't really like the framing process, basically because I'm not that good at making it. I have watched Tara's video, and she's very helpful, and she has given me great many tips on how to make that happen. But I really do like her. I prefer her cushioning, her ornament and wall hanging tutorial. That is great, and you did a great job. And you've helped me a lot with those too. But yeah, I definitely love making ornaments and wall hangings, and that's probably my favorite thing to make with my pieces when I finish with them. What is your favorite? What? Excuse me. Who is your favorite designer? Well, you know, from probably past videos, you figured out that I like Joan Elliott. But lately, I have been really enjoying Stony Creek, and I really like all their designs on there. So they're probably one of my new favorites. And also Frosted Pumpkin. I know I'm going to pout a little bit. I can't get a Frosted Pumpkin quite yet, but because just money difficulties. But I love all the Frosted Pumpkins, especially the story time. I just like, oh, I want to stitch that so bad. But yeah, maybe some other time. I have enough projects on. So, but yes, those are my favorite designers. Okay. What is the most you have paid for a cross stitch related pattern or floss or stuff? Again, I probably messed up that question because I kind of abbreviated. A kit that I bought was probably about $25. And recently, my biggest purchase was all that floss, and I spent 80 something. So for me, that was like a whole lot. And I don't usually spend that much. Like I said, I usually stick to thrift stores or yard sales or whatever I can find. How many hours have you spent on spent cross stitching? Oh, I think like the one time, it was in winter time and I was sick. I think it was about 6 hours, I think. I don't do too long a period of time with stitching because my hands start to hurt when I do that too often, and so I usually only stick with 1 or 2 hours of stitching, and that's about all I can take. But yeah, that one I did at one time. I was trying to finish up a project for someone, and so I did marathon stitching and one weekend, and I was sick, so I didn't have anything better to do, so that's what I did. Do any of your FFOs have any major mistakes? No, not major. Little bit. All my projects have small mistakes in them. I miscounted or something like that, or there might be a little knot I can't get rid of. But that doesn't really bother me too much because, I don't know, my philosophy in life is nothing's perfect, so don't try to make it perfect. So just go with the flow. Alright, what is the one piece you're most proud of? That would probably be the Nora Corbett Halloween fairy. That's probably my favorite I've ever done because it was probably the biggest and most complicated piece I've ever worked on, and I was really happy the way it turned out, even though I kind of changed things on the pattern a lot, especially with the beading, but it is still something I really enjoyed and I loved making. If you lost your stitching bug, what would you do to make it come back? Like I said, I kind of watch FlossTube and listen to everyone talk about their projects, and it makes me kind of feel motivated to stitch again. But if it's really gone, then I just stop for a few days and I do something else and just take a break, and it eventually comes back. Do you have to finish a project, or can you leave them for months at a time and do a new start? I have a really hard time leaving a project unfinished. It's not something I like to do because I don't want to make it as part of my nature to leave things unfinished. So I feel like I need to finish something. I know, like, I have for example, I have that Christmas pets or holiday pets from Dimensions, and I started that and I didn't keep doing it, and even though I'm gonna pick it up closer to the holidays, it still bothers me that it's waiting for me somewhere, and I hear it calling in the middle of the night. Yeah, I do like to finish my projects because it's just something, I don't know, it just feels like something I need to do. If you start something, you need to finish it, kind of thing. But I don't know. There are times when there is a project that I don't like really to work on, and I don't want to be working on that at the moment. So yeah, I will set it aside. I'm having that temptation right now with my nursery rhymes sampler because I finished The Mother Goose, and I'm working on the cow jumped over the moon part, and I messed up on the moon. I miscounted, and I'm frustrated with it, so I just don't want to mess with it. I want to put it away in a drawer somewhere. But I don't know. I haven't decided what I'm going to do with that yet. Anyway, where was I? What is your most hated type of stitch? French knots. I don't like French knots. I have a really hard time making a French knot. So, like I have said in previous videos, I kind of cheat and I just make a normal knot and pull it through, even though I'm trying to really get out of that habit, and instead of using a French knot or a normal knot, I've been trying to do beads instead because it looks a little nicer. So anyway, thank you everyone for doing those wonderful tags, and I hope the background noise wasn't too bad. And I will be doing an update pretty soon. You'll probably see another video from me probably next week. Yeah, I have a big paper I have to finish, so yeah. Anyway, take care everyone. Happy stitching.